All right, so my name is Evan Strong, and I am the founder and the one who kind of runs this thing in the Image Clothing Company. Okay, that is our company. We are now officially a company. I just put out a video actually announcing that we officially own the domain InTheImageClothingCompany.com. So that's what it will always be for anything in the Image Clothing Company wise, right? We are so much more than just a clothing company. If you don't know anything about In the Image Clothing Company yet, we are a community founded on the fact that we are all universally designed in the image of our living God, who is Jesus Christ. You can go sit in school in an anatomy class and you can see that skeletal system, and then it applies to everybody within their own situations, which we always recognize people's own situations, like deformities, surgeries, whatever it is within your own body. But that's what I'm talking about. The body is about the skeletal system and a natural position, and within clothing is where our bodies dwell, right? So I always have a few prerequisites that I say, which are to lace your shoes with my technique found anywhere that you can look up in the Image Clothing Company. And that includes tying your shoes evenly over toward the inside, right? And that just allows the shoe, within the best of that shoe's design's capability that you're wearing, to fit on your foot like a glove on the hand, just to allow it to operate the way that the foot's designed to work, okay? And then pairing that with removing the tags from the tongues of the shoes or anywhere within them up through the entirety of all the clothing you ever wear. And I've personally made videos on each and every one of those tags in their locations and what they do to alter the body universally, universal human design, okay? So those are my prerequisites. But here at In the Image Clothing Company, we are so much more than just a clothing company. Like I said a minute ago here, it's going to be not just a company. We're not just going to be selling clothing, but we are going to be doing that also. We're going to have 100% natural material, minimal clothing. No branding, no logoing on the exterior of the clothing whatsoever. It's going to sit where it needs to, shoulder seams on top, behind the shoulders, the ones at the edges, right at the edges, pants up above the hips, very slightly higher in the front than in the rear, just to allow the body to work, okay? But this is a community. This is, as I started this company, a place of information. I've had so many videos, 70 plus videos that are just information free about modifications you can do within your own clothing and the natural workings of the human body and things like that. So the point is, In the Image Clothing Company is more than just, hey, we got some really good clothing to sell you, and it will be really good. That's the only reason I'm starting this company, as far as like having clothing with it, is to make it good, right, for the body, to allow it to move. But we're a community of like-minded people who just want the body to work as it was designed to. So the thing is, I don't want secrets here. As far as like, I don't want to have some kind of design that like we're hiding behind the scenes, that nobody else can ever design clothing like ours and whatever. Like I mentioned, I put out around 70 of the videos that I've put out, 65, 70 maybe, because I've got about 80 videos, but I just want to, let's say 65 of them are just free modifications, somewhere around 65, right? 60 videos, I don't know. Free modifications you can do within your own clothing to just allow your body to stay centered, to allow yourself to just, work, which is ideal within our own situations, right? But that's how I want it to be. The point being, those are free videos. That's just information I'm just giving away, right? Stuff that works, stuff that's universal, stuff that's undisputed truth. And that's what I want to stick with always, because there's no point in sharing opinions as far as trying to like get people to believe them. We all have our own opinions. But no, let's get down to the truth of what clothing is actually doing to the body. So, at In the Image Clothing Company, we will always just be open, okay? We're not gonna have secrets about our design choices and not letting other people know, so that like we hire sales because our clothing works so good for the body, but we're not giving away the reasons why, or like trying not to have people find out. No. We are just here to have a community of people who can learn through what we do, what I have learned being the founder, how to just let our bodies be our bodies without restricting them. Because all of our bodies look slightly different heights, different widths, all the things. But again, the structural skeletal system, even if you don't have part of it, you got an amputation, you got whatever, you got your own situation. But what you do have, it works the same way, right? Again, we got our own situations, but we just need to allow the body to work. So that's why, like I've mentioned, we're going to have discussion groups. We're probably going to have podcasts and things where we're talking, we're discussing. We're going to have a community here. I mean, as big as we can get it, as broad as we can get it. As I say, only just to allow the body to work, okay? It's not about our company growing, but it's about our community being not only our company, but everybody who takes part in any of this, just understanding how easy it really is in almost every single case to relieve a lot of pain within the body, to have more energy, to sleep better, because the body only works how the body works, and we just need to know how to let our clothing, which is covering our bodies, protecting our bodies, we need to know how to allow it to just sit on our bodies with the least amount of restriction that we can. And materials and things like that, stuff that we will incorporate into our clothing, yes, at In The Image Clothing Company, that we will be selling, but we don't want you to have to buy anything, okay? We really don't. So, the main takeaway, the main focus, the biggest thing of this video is we are not going to have any secrets, okay? I mean, yes, we might have patented designs that are actually just like ours because we got to run a company and we're going to be selling clothing, but we're not going to be secretive about what those things are and how they work. So we got to give away this information because that's the whole point. Again, community, expanding, helping people in their own situations without having them have to pay for anything, right? This is a company founded on the teachings of our living God, Jesus Christ. As I always talk about, he is the center of all this. Yes, I am the leader of like the company in an earthly form, but I couldn't even be here if he didn't design me, right? And the point is, he always was giving things away, healing people when he felt that he needed to heal the person. Certain times he didn't, is what I'm saying. He didn't, heal every single person that he ever possibly came across. There's a lot to go into, and that's another thing, is we're going to go into a lot of gospel topics and gospel discussions within the podcast and things like that. But I really want to make sure that we kind of get checked as a company here. If we're starting to do stuff and it seems like we're like withholding information or understanding about something, no, this is a whole community. And we got to just be open about things. No secrets about we're like putting this secret product into our, no, you know what I mean? Just to like try to sell something. No, we're not about selling things. And that's the big thing, is we're not trying to sell things. We're just going to make clothing that really is so good that people will just want to buy because they'll see other people wearing it and the way that their body can stand and move in it. And they'll see us as the team here, like the central part of the company, and the way that we operate and move, and the way that our lives all as an accumulation of anybody who does anything within their clothing to allow their body to stay centered, it'll allow your life to be lighter because your body will be working. We don't really realize it a lot of the times. I didn't realize it for so long, how much we're fighting our clothing to just try to move and work. And we don't want that, because that's not something we're trying to like say we're only going to help with that if you buy something from us. No, we're a community here. We're just trying to help people really understand their own bodies and get a good relationship with your body and understanding of what it needs and how it works, because as a society we've come a long way from being very in tune and in touch with nature and natural things, and our body is very natural. So, a lot of talk about natural materials, a lot of discussions on what materials actually do to the body, just out of like what's really going on, right? We're going to try to keep all the opinions out of everything that we can. We are humans, we just have opinions, but for the sake of like sharing information and, bouncing stuff off each other, we're just trying our best to just talk about only things that are truly actually happening and the effects of them as they actually are, okay? So I just want to make it very clear that In The Image Clothing Company will always try its absolute best. We are sinful humans, right? But we're going to try our absolute best to have no secrets, okay? It's going to be a very open company. There's an airplane. So anyway, as I said, though, we will have clothing available, and it will come. There's a plane right above me. I'm just kind of debating on if I should keep talking or if I should like wait for a second. And so I'll just keep talking about the plane until it goes over. And then once the plane is far enough away to where you can hear me pretty well, like without the droning of those like, then we'll just continue on talking about what we were initially talking about with the video. And in the meantime, you'll just hear me like kind of filling the gap of time where it's overhead. And then now it's probably far enough to where I'm going to mention we're going to be selling clothing, right? I mean, we are a clothing company. Like I said, 100% natural materials. Like even our button-ups, we're like I discussed a little bit, before this video also. Oh, it's also the 24th of September 2024. I just want to make sure I say that if I didn't say it at the beginning. But if we have any kind of thing that's not just cotton, right? Like a button-up shirt, guaranteed we're making button-ups. I love button-up shirts, right? We're gonna have them unisex as far as it'll work for a man or a woman. General sizing, right? Regular old, small, medium, large, extra large, whatever, on both ends of however small or big we make our clothing. But if we do have things like buttons, it's not just the actual material. They're gonna be wooden, right? I mean, natural, nature. We're like, seriously, we're gonna be natural, okay? So if you like that, if you're into that, and really your body, whether you say it or not, is into that, because our bodies are natural and they like to mesh with nature, right? So 100% natural materials. Just always try your best to purchase our clothing if you do decide to purchase it, right? I'm not even saying you need to, but if you ever decide to purchase In The Image Clothing Company clothing, just purchase it in a size that actually fits like the seams at the edges of the pivot points of the body, because that's the whole intent of me even founding this company, right? It's just to allow the body to work. So yeah, try to do that. Try to purchase it in a size that fits. If again, I'm not even saying you got to purchase our clothing. This is a community. We're so much more than just a clothing company, but we are also selling clothing. Not quite today as far as the date that I said here, but we will have clothing available. So yes, anyway, I just as I said, main takeaway, we're trying to, for this video at least, we're trying to just always stay open, okay? Discussions, transparency, no secrecy, no like trying to hide where we got our materials from, or like, you know what I mean? This is open, okay? Community. All right, cool. So again, I am the founder of In The Image Clothing Company and the earthly leader of all these things. Our living God is above all of this. But my name is Evan Strong. InTheImageClothingCompany.com is where you're going to be able to get everything In The Image Clothing Company wise. So much more than just a clothing company. That's a phrase you will be hearing a lot. Okay, so yeah, check it out. Remember, if you're ever within comment sections or community discussions within the company that is In The Image Clothing Company, we are founded around the teachings of Jesus Christ. So we just got to be nice, okay, to the best of our capabilities. We all make mistakes, but we got to keep a lighthearted environment here. Everyone that we talk to, that we talk about, trying our best, being sinful humans, to just keep this a lighthearted community. We want it to grow. We want it to get big. Again, just to help people with their own bodies and their own relationship and correlation with clothing. But we got to be, to the best of our abilities, kind to each other within this. Things come up and everything, but I just, when you're opening a discussion, when you're opening, the ability for people to talk to pretty much anybody anywhere on the globe, we need to keep parameters of, hey, we got to do our absolute best to be kind to each other. And that's what's going to build this community. Building a community that people feel safe to share an opinion in, and yeah, that's going to always be the focus, because the center is always going to be Jesus Christ. Okay, thank you. Check out InTheImageClothingCompany.com, anywhere you can find our videos. Check those out also. A lot of free information, a lot of good stuff. If you'd like to purchase clothing when it comes time, here's a little bit of like also, you know, foreshadowing on what that will look like. At least as far as now, I can guarantee button-ups, short sleeves, and long sleeves. We'll have shirts and pants and stuff. It'll, you know, as it comes. Okay, thank you.